Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today I'm doing a get ready with me as usual, but I thought I'd answer some questions that I got off Insta and some DMs that I got before. They're a bit of a mixture really about everything, so yeah, I hope you enjoy. Please come and follow me at Syracuse and DM me any more questions you might have, and I can do those next week. Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoy. Okay guys, so I'm going to go straight in. I'm doing my makeup because I'm going out today for lunch and then I'm going to dinner, so I'm doing all day. And one of the first questions I got asked was about skincare. So I use a gel cleanser. Basically, a dermatologist told me years ago I've got oily skin and I just need like a gel cleanser. She was like, it doesn't matter what brand it is, you just need a gel cleanser. So the ones I tend to go for are Cetaphil, oily skin. Cerave I've tried. I've also tried the Roche Posay. No, the blue one. I used to use the Refy H, which isn't gel, it's like a creamy one, but it was so nice, but I discontinued it. So basically I feel like I haven't found like a number one. I use the blue Roche Posay one sometimes, but I kind of just like switch between them all because I feel like one of them goes well for a while and then I break out and stuff and I'm like, oh, I want to try a new one. So at the minute, randomly, I'm using a simple one, not like the brand Simple. I bought it to go away one weekend because I only had hand luggage with me, so I was like, I'll just buy it from the airport. As long as it's a gel cleanser and it hasn't got like too much bad stuff in it, it should be fine. And guys, touch wood, my skin's been really good on it. So at the minute, I'm using a simple gel cleanser, which is £5, which I'm a bit shook at. And then my number one thing after that in the day is vitamin C serum. Again, I use any different brand. I'm using the Revolution one at the minute, so I'll link that one. I just think it's really nice on my skin. I use it every day and I found like a big difference. I started using it in lockdown and I've just found a big difference on my skin with that. And then moisturiser, before I do like night out or like proper nice makeup, I use this. I've literally had to order more. It's coming, it's on the way. This is the Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. I've probably mentioned it before. I absolutely love it and it's really nice before putting makeup on, so I'd recommend this moisturiser. I'm also using the Skin and Me moisturiser at the minute and that's really nice. And then my absolute go-to to finish off is the Heliocare SPF 50 or 90, but I use the gel version. I find that that version is much better for me than the cream. It like glides on your skin nicer and it's much nicer to put makeup on top. So that's my day routine. And then night time, I use the same gel cleanser and I use AHA or BHA oil. I use the Paula's Choice one at the minute and it's really good for skin texture and making your pores less visible. So I use that every night. I just put it in the palm of my hand and kind of like push it into the skin. I basically saw Kim Kardashian putting on her skincare like that, so I copied. And then if my skin is a little bit dry, then I'll go in with our Skin and Me moisturiser because it's really light and I find it's nice for my skin because I can't put something too heavy on. Like this I absolutely love, but I'll only put this on before makeup because it's nice to have like that dewy base. But like before I go to bed, I just want to use like a very light moisturiser because I've got really oily skin. So the next question I got was best and worst pickup lines I've heard. For me, the best pickup line has just got to be something funny, like something that makes me laugh. So I remember meeting this guy on a night out before, and you know when like you meet somebody out and you like him and stuff, and he was funny in person, give him my number, but no, like when you're not 100% sure, you know, when you're drunk. And then he texted me the next day asking me to go out and I was like, I don't know, I was just a bit unsure. I just needed some time, so I didn't reply to him. And then I don't know if it was like a day or 2 days later, he messaged me saying something like, I'm gonna take your silence as you're checking your diary and trying to make it work because you absolutely can't wait to meet me because when you saw me the other night you knew that I was something special, like something along the lines of that. And it just made me laugh and I was like, do you know what, you're really funny and I will go out on a date with you. And that's what got me in. But I realised that might not work for everyone. I remember my ex's friend saying that he'd gone on a date with somebody or like met her out and asked her out again and she hadn't replied. He was like, well, should I text her? So I told him to say something similar. She didn't text back. I felt so bad afterwards. I was like, oh, sorry. I was like, obviously, maybe not everyone finds it funny. He was like, oh no, it's fine. So yeah, I get that might not work on everybody, because if you're like unsure on somebody and then they hound you again, then obviously for some people that's quite off-putting. But I don't know, I obviously kind of liked him a little bit anyway and it made me laugh. So that's the first one. The second, the bad one, worst pickup line I've heard. I can't think of like one in particular for me. Luckily, touch wood, I haven't had one that's like, you know, being really offensive or anything. But I would say for me the worst type of pickup line is somebody that's cocky and like brags about money and stuff. I've definitely had that before, like, hey, like, what are you doing? Yeah, well, I could pick you up, I've got this type of car, and I could take you here, and they like name drop like a really nice restaurant, and they basically just are cocky and they try and win you over like superficially. I don't go for that. I think that's like a bit of a red flag. I just don't think it's a nice feeling. So I would say that. Let me know what yours are though. I think I should do a poll on my Insta for that, like best and worst pickup lines, because I'm sure there's been like really good ones and I'm sure people have had really bad ones. I also feel like other ones are when some guys, I mean maybe some girls as well, but I've definitely had guys, I've done it to my friends before, where they've like bragged about girls that they've pulled. And that's a very weird one. Like, I've had that myself actually, oh my god, I've just realised. Where I've been on a date with somebody and they're telling me like about girls that they've dated and stuff, and basically like about pretty girls like that I know, like if they've been in certain campaigns or if they, you know, somebody that's like quite well known, and I'm like, is this meant to make me think, okay, you've got to be good looking because you've pulled these people? Because it doesn't. Because why are you bragging about girls you've pulled to a girl you're on a date with? Yeah, not good. Again, it's cockiness. It comes to cockiness, and that's just not for me. Okay, the next one is a bit random. I definitely can't answer on here, but I'm gonna put it on my Instagram for you, because somebody has said, do you know of anybody you can set me up on a blind date with? I want some excitement away from apps. And I'm gonna see if I can hook you up. I'm gonna put that on Instagram. I should have shared it at the time. I just didn't. But I will. I'm gonna put that on. If anybody knows of somebody, a guy, that is willing to go on a blind date, drop their Insta handle below and we can see if we can hook you up. I think that would be super fun. I was gonna say I've never been on a blind date before, but I have been on multiple dates where I've arranged it with a guy that I met whilst I was drunk, and then I've met up with them not really remembering what they look like. So I guess that's kind of a blind date. I did that with like my ex-boyfriend in uni. I literally, it was before Insta times because I'm old. So I literally gave my number to this guy, and all I had to go by was, do you know, I didn't even have his WhatsApp picture. I didn't, because I was on BlackBerry at the time and it was BBM, remember that? And I remember like saying to my friends, okay, I don't give my number out to that many people, so I must have liked him, but I literally cannot remember what he looks like, and I can hardly remember anything about him. So I just went off my intuition and my instinct, thinking you must have liked this guy to give your number to him, because at the time, like, I really didn't give my number to anyone. So I went to arrange a meeting with him, and it was like a blind date. It was a full blind date for me. Like, I couldn't remember what he looked like. Luckily, like, the way we met in cinema, and I was like, I think it's gotta be him, and then he recognised me, thank God. And he ended up being my boyfriend for 3.5 years. So drunk me did not let me down there. Like, she had my back. Okay, and then I had DMs, and I had a couple of these like for dating advice. Okay, so she said, Hi Sadie, I'm a new follower, but I love the podcast. It's so relatable. Thank you. I wanted to know what other women thought about when is the right time to tell your partner that you love them. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 months now and things are progressing. I do love him and he knows that, but is there a time where you would question your fella if they didn't say it to you? He tells me he adores me and treats me like a princess, but are those 3 little words a be all and end all in the building of a relationship? I don't say I love you to him as I want him to say it to me first, but I have written it on little notes we leave for each other when he goes away for work. Love is a strange feeling, and I just wondered if I was maybe too eager, too late in the feels I have for him, and wondered what other women thought about this. Okay, so honestly for me, I would need to hear I love you, or I would need to say it, like to be in a serious relationship. Obviously I don't need it for if I don't love somebody, but like if I loved a guy, I would need him to say it to me, or I would need to say it to him to like almost progress with the relationship, because I do think it's really important. You have to tell somebody you love them, and like for me, when I'm in love, I get to a stage where I can't keep it in anymore and I'm like desperate to say, and I think that's just like for me the nicest feeling. I don't think it's bad. I don't like if he hasn't said it yet. I don't think there's a timeline on when you say you love somebody at all. I think it varies from different people, when people are comfortable, when you feel like the relationship is strong enough. Oh my god, sorry. If you've seen my videos, you know I can't concentrate when I do this flick. So I don't think you can go by a timeline, but I think to me it sounds like they are in love anyway. Like she's leaving her on little notes in the house saying that she loves him anyway. Or for me, I would low-key be pissed off if I was writing love you to someone and they hadn't said it to me yet. But you probably, like, you know what boys are like, I don't feel like they think the same way as us. He probably doesn't count that as her saying it properly. But he must love her because he's with her, they boyfriend, girlfriend, they've been together for 5 months. Like she said, he treats her like a princess. So at that stage, I think you should just tell him. I don't think it matters to wait for the guy to say it first. Like I really don't, and usually I'm an advocate for that type of stuff, but I think when you're with somebody and your boyfriend, girlfriend, you've been together for that amount of time, you both know you're in love anyway. Oh my god, this is the wonkiest eye flick I've ever done. No guys. Okay, BRB, I cannot go out like this, I literally look lopsided. Okay, here we go. This is what happens when I talk and try and do an eye flick. Like I just haven't mastered that level of multitasking yet. It's always when like you need the eye to go perfect is when it's like the messiest ever, you know? Yeah, I think at that point it really like doesn't matter who says it first. I told Matt, if you've listened to my podcast, you've definitely heard this story before, sorry. But I told Matt when we were in the middle of a night out after bottomless brunch in Dubai. Like the worst timing to tell somebody. But it's just the same, like we've been together 3 or 4 months and I knew I loved him, I knew he loved me. You can just tell when somebody loves you, can't you? You can just tell. And yeah, I knew he loved me, and then just even the stuff he was saying on the holiday, I was like, he's gonna tell me on this holiday. Like he was telling his friend one night, yeah, like when you know, I knew, didn't I babe? And I was like, what, like that I was the one? Yeah. And I'm like, this bastard. How is he telling his friend that I'm the one and he hasn't told me he loves me yet? I was like, okay, whatever, he's gonna tell me. And I really wanted to tell him. And I guess we were both waiting for the right moment on the holiday. Like he told me afterwards that he was going to tell me on the holiday. But I don't know, I just got drunk in bottomless brunch and then I was sat opposite him and like the music was blasting and I was like, I just want to tell you that I love you. And he was like, I love you. It was like on paper the worst timing to say it. But I just think don't overthink it. Like when it's ready to come out, it will come out. And yeah, I don't think it matters. And also, say you were to do that and then he like didn't say it back or whatever and you're on different vibes, as like bad as that sounds, at least you know. And then you're like, okay, well thank God I don't have to waste more time with this person. Like obviously if he's just not ready to say it yet, and he will be in a few months forever, then that's fine. But if he's like, oh wait, I'm on a different page to you, like I wasn't thinking about this in a serious way, then as sad as it is, at least you know, because your feelings are only going to get deeper, so it's best to get out of there before they get too strong. I had another message like this as well the other day from a girl asking if she should ask the guy out on a date. She was like, he's asked me out every week, but he hasn't asked me out this week. And I'm like, just ask him. Like, he's probably sick of asking you out all the time. Like sometimes a guy does need a little bit of a pushback. Do you get me? Like I've had that before from people I've dated when they like, I feel like I'm only ever asking you out. Like it's fine at the start, but sometimes you have to ask out as well. And I think for that, my advice would be to just like play it really cool. Like what I told her was, don't be like, hey, so if you want to do something, or you don't have to do something, but I'm just wondering for free. Like don't overthink it. And just be cool and just be like, hey, are you around next week? Fancy going for a drink? What do you fancy doing? Whatever you want to do. That to me is like the #1 thing. Keep it cool, keep it casual, and then if they say no, they're never gonna know that like you're actually freaking out or there's a big deal. They can be like, no, sorry, I can't. You're like, okay, no problem, because it just sounds like you're asking if somebody's free if they're around. Just think of it like you're asking a friend. That would be my advice. Okay, next one. Okay, I got another message. I'm not going to read it all out because I think it's quite personal. But basically, it's funny because I had this message and then it also happened to somebody I know as well. And I think it's really common for women or girls, basically, where she didn't get asked to be bridesmaid in her best friend's wedding. And this is like much more common than you realise. And I think honestly, like feeling let down by a friend or like falling out with a friend is sometimes more hurtful than a partner. Like I really do. I think any argument or falling out that I've had with a friend has definitely affected me more than anyone I've had with my boyfriend, for sure. So annoying that my eye is just watered and that's not curled and it's taken my eyeliner off of the good eye. Like why does that happen? My eyes water so much, it's so annoying. Yeah, and the advice I would give, well it's the advice I gave to her and for anyone else, is like you just have to speak to them about it. Like I think weddings are so hard, like because I do think as a bride you don't want to offend anybody, and I think you're always going to end up offending somebody with something, but that feeling, I just can't even imagine it, to like not be asked to be bridesmaid. It's such a big deal for us, and I think it can be really hurtful. And I think the absolute best thing to do is to speak to them about it and get a reason why, because I think if you haven't got a reason why, then you're just going to make up a million reasons in your head, and guaranteed 90% of them are going to be awful about you, and you'll believe them. Like I've said stuff like this on the podcast loads of times, like wherever you tell yourself is true. So if you're telling yourself, well, she obviously hasn't asked me because she doesn't like me anymore, because it's because I did this like 5 years ago and she's never forgiven me for it, it's because of this, it's because she prefers her new friend. Like we'll make up all these things and we'll believe it and you'll feel worse about yourself. Whereas if you just speak to her about it, then there might be a reason that you can like actually understand a little bit more. And if you don't understand the reason, then it might be worth just reconsidering the friendship, to be honest. And there's like nothing worse, like I'm the worst for that as well, like dealing with confrontation of any kind. Like ask anybody who knows me, they'll be like, she's the worst. Like I literally, something can bother me for months and I wouldn't want to say it, but it definitely helps. Like it absolutely definitely helps to just talk about whatever you're going through. And that's all I got this week, guys. So I don't know, if you have any others, please keep them coming. I feel a little bit frantic today because I'm late. As always, I am literally late every single day in my life. and I'm sick of it, but there's nothing I can seem to do about it. What it is I trick myself every day into thinking that I can get ready in like half the time it actually takes me. Because I know deep down I can get ready quicker. Like I know, and I've had proof. So every day I tell myself, yeah, you only need half hour. But then I'm like, every day happens and I need the 40 minutes. So I have 10 minutes until I have to leave. 8 minutes. It's just, is it happening? Is it happening? I don't know. I'm always 10 minutes late. That's the thing with me. I'm never that late. It's always 10 minutes. That's like the only extra time I need. And then my toxic trait is thinking that being 10 minutes late is pretty much on time. Because no one really gets annoyed for 10 minutes, do they? I think anything after 10 minutes is like, oh, come on, you're taking the piss. But I think 10 minutes, you can get away with it quite easily. So yeah, that is my toxic trait, 100%. Just feeling like 10 minutes is actually on time. So I'm going for lunch today to meet my friend who I used to work with. So I'm very excited to see her. And then from there, I'm catching a train like out of London for a surprise dinner at one of our friends' houses. So it's technically like Matt's friend, but they're all in couples, so it's really nice. And they've just completed on their house, so the guy's fiance is doing like a surprise dinner. So I'm catching a train. I don't even know to where. I literally, if it anywhere's outside London, I forget the address immediately. My mother asked me earlier where it was. I was like, I don't know, I can't remember. Okay, I'm just gonna bake. I'm recording the podcast tomorrow, and Matt's gonna come on with me this week. I asked him earlier and he was like, yeah, I'll come on. And I was like, wait, what? Like usually he pushes back, he's like, oh, like he loves it. Like I know he loves it deep down, but he usually pushes back a bit. But yeah, this time he said yes straight away, which is good. It's funny because one of the last ones we did together, I put the video on Facebook and it's had like a lot of views, and I don't even know who they are, but some girl commented saying, is that who I think it is? And then some guy commented, yes, it's Matthew Gregoire. And I was like, oh no, like he's gonna die of embarrassment. But clearly, I think he must low-key love it. So yeah, he's coming on with me this week, and it's gonna be out on Tuesday. So come and follow me on Spotify, the link is down below if you wanna see that. It's usually funny when he comes on. Right, if you watched my last video, I said that I rated this mascara. I still do, but I do not rate the brush. This curly brush is so messy for me, and I've realised now that I can strictly only use a straight brush. I'm finding it really hard to navigate with this curl brush. Like when I use it, it goes all over my eyes and stuff. Okay, I'm going back in. Somebody messaged me the other day, what blush should I use? It's literally this Taj Mahal one every day. That's the issue I struggle with, is like when I find a makeup look that I like, that's just the one that I go to every time. Because when I try something different then, I'm like, it's fine, but I don't like it as much. So then obviously if I like a night out or anything that I want to look nice for, I just do the same makeup every single time. My eyelashes have never been so short, and when my eyelashes don't go right, it ruins my whole makeup look. Like, it makes me feel like absolute shit. I finally got myself a new Morphe lip liner. Look at the size of it. Look how long, big they are. It feels huge. It's my all-time favourite lip liner. It's so good. It's so cheap as well. But yeah, it's the Morphe Sweet Tea, and it's my favourite, like, of all time. I absolutely love it. I'm really running out of this lipstick though. Look at that. I can't get it anywhere. Everywhere I try, it's sold out. I actually don't know what I'm going to do when it runs out, because it's the only lip colour I like. I've been trying to wear a different lip colour to work, to save it, and every other colour I wear, I'm like, I just don't like it. It's not as nice. Like, I'm so sold on this lip combo. It's like my holy grail. I've been using it for like 2 years maybe. Okay, I think that's it. My eyelashes, I cannot cope with. I'm late, so I'm just gonna have to hope that they drop and try and put more mascara on them later because they are so stumpy. Like, I can't even look at them because it's gonna stress me out. Not today. Not today. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for everyone who sent me questions. Please send more in if you've got any others, because yeah, it feels like I'm chatting to you more rather than being here by myself. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and please come and subscribe for more because I love doing these videos every week, and yeah, I would really like to get them out to more people. So yeah, please leave me a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.